Good girl. Hey, you wait for me to throw it. Oh, we're all getting involved now. Yeah. Now, the little one's very fast and gets the ball really well. And maybe if I throw it near Robin, the big one, she'll be able to pick it up, but probably not. She's a bit lazy like that. If I throw it into her face, she might not get it. Come on, let's go. See, she just stands there. Since I'm here in the garden throwing the ball, I thought we'd talk about play. I've mentioned this before, but this is Ivy's favourite game. And this is an infinite game. There's no winners and there's no losers. I mean, she might lose out when I get tired of doing this, but there's no losers. And one of the reasons that play is fundamental to the space for creativity framework that I have is because, and she gets it. Now, the problem is this one won't give it back. She's going to have to, one of us is going to have to wrestle it out of her mouth. Now, she's a retriever, so she's brought it over to me. She's just not very good at putting it down. Do you want me to take it? Do you? You won't let me take it. See? You come over and you nudge me and you won't let me take it. Come on. So this is also another, she's the game she plays too. Ivy, get the ball. Where's the ball? Come on. You'll need two hands for this. Come on. You give me the ball? Yes, you will. Oh, yes, you're so soft. And come on. I don't have another ball. Okay, you're off. Okay. Like I said, play is so important. And play is so important to all of us. Play is important to children as part of their development. And I actually think that creativity is part of the play that we need as adults to progress, to grow, to understand, to move forward. And that E and elevate at the end of space is a chance to encapsulate all of that and pull it all in and figure out how we're progressing and moving forward. But I think fundamental to that idea is this idea of play and playing outside of the rules, the norms, outside of the box, writing in a style that we wouldn't normally for work, or writing in a way that's, from a completely different perspective, whether it's plugging our music equipment together in different ways or finding different things to point our camera at or through or under or over. And that's where we find these interesting perspectives. And I think that play tends not to happen when we're in a pressurized situation to be able to deliver. And again, that's why we're here in France. We have taken space from our life in Dublin to come to France and spend time to breathe deeply, to eat and drink their wonderful products here in France, to hang out with our dogs, to swim in the pool with our kids or go for bike rides. But it's about having space to incorporate all of that into our lives and make time for playing. My wife's bought a pad of paper. She normally works on canvas, but she's working on paper too, because it fits in the car and it'll dry and it'll be flat and we can bring it back home with us easily. And I've just brought a small selection of music gear, what I could fit in the backpack. And that's going to be part of my play. I'm not necessarily trying to write or finish tracks, but I am challenging myself to come back with at least 10 pieces that I can then tease into something else that I can share with my bandmates and figure out which ones we're going to move forward and take into what we're working on. So I just want to encourage you to think about how you can incorporate play. How can you lower the risk and of making something. Like if you're, and like at music school or art school, they force you to do this all the time. Like they, go, you can have one tool, you can have one mark thing to make marks with, or maybe they go, you've got to use your non-dominant hand. So if you're right-handed, it's pick the pencil up with your left hand and try and use it. Or, try to draw without lifting the pen off the paper, or write, but you've only got 4 minutes and 30 seconds to write on this topic, go. And forcing us into these, restrictive ways of working and thinking. It's a form of play, but it's also a form of relieving us from decision fatigue. When you have every possibility and option open to you, it can just become debilitating trying to figure out, how do I do what I do? And there are so many examples in the artwork world, from amazing films that have been made on tiny budgets with very simple and basic tools, to amazing artwork that's only been produced with a small number of colours. And I'm sure there are examples in writing, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. And there's certainly loads of musical examples where people went to the woods in the cabin with a guitar and a microphone, or songs that have been written in 15 minutes just with a piano and a voice, or a guitar and a voice. And I just want to remind you that it's important to play. It's as important to children's development, and our play as adults is often our art, our creativity. For me, I love the fun piece of making the work. I really struggle when it gets into the later nitty-gritty of the finishing it, the mixing, the mastering stages, and sometimes that's where I'll ask somebody else to get involved. I'll ask somebody who's an expert at mastering to take my track and make it sound ready, or help me with engineering the mix so that it's in a good space. And partly because that's a whole other skill set that you've got to go and learn. And if you're not motivated to do that piece, then it can start to be a bit of a drag. Because there's so much to learn just in those elements. But I think that's why collaboration and working with people is so vital. So I guess in this video I'm suggesting that you, one, collaborate, find partners to work with, and whether that's on Fiverr, that you're going to send somebody your track and see how they go with it. What's to lose if you spend $25 and ask somebody to do a thing? You might learn something through the process, particularly about writing a brief, being really clear about what you're expecting, what you're thinking at the other end. Because I know when I get to the end of a track, I'm not entirely sure of where it could go. But having to put that down, and communicate that to somebody else helps me to process it. But just to remember that play is so important. And make time today for play. What are you going to do today? Write in the comments what way you're going to find to play today. How are you going to lessen the risk, lower the bar to entry? How are you going to minimize what you're using? Okay. YouTube, through the magic of floating things, is going to put a video up here for you to watch next. Hopefully you'll find a little bit more inspiration to create space for creativity and get on with your creative work. Because we all need to see it. Love to see it. Anyway, until the next time, I'll be sitting here in the garden playing fetch with the dogs and drinking coffee. Stay creative.